Hi, and a big warm welcome. I'm grateful you stopped by today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Shannon Gordon, the creatrix of Shannon's Magical Makings and an inspiring creative coach. I'm passionate about providing people the ability to step into the creative flow of the universe with exclusively and magically designed and created by me for Shannon's Magical Makings, a plethora of collections and kits to choose from. Art and craft paper, note cards, tags, ephemera, embellishments, creative gratitude journal kits, mixed media on canvas, traveler's journals, mini albums, and more. Creativity is my passion, and I love to teach, inspire, and share paper crafted and mixed media items, projects, ideas, techniques, products, kits, and workshops. And today I'm going to be sharing a lovely technique for creating your own word embellishments. And this is my spin on the project inspired by the wonderfully creative Kylie of Kylie Koo Studio. And I'll go ahead and include a link in the drop down menu below to her channel. I will also include a list of the supplies used in today's project and a real quick summary of the steps on how to do this. So the list of supplies, first you would need a typed list of your words for embellishing. And this is the fun part because you can choose any font type that you like. And then what I did is I printed it out on 110 paper, and I used Courier, and I made it pretty big. I believe it's an 18 on the number on the font size. And then so the first step we're going to do is we're going to take our ink blending tool, and I like the round one, and then I like to use the archival Ranger potting soil, and then you just ink it up and then just go over it kind of randomly over the words. Doesn't have to be perfect, and just cover them out a little bit because we're going to be cutting them out. So you just want to make them and not too dark, because you want to be able to see them against the background that we're going to be creating in a moment. So there we go. It's real quick. Let that dry for a minute. And next we're going to decide which book pages you're going to use. So find an old book or one that's been discarded from the library and tear out a couple of sheets. And it's okay to just have it rough. You can leave it rough, and then decide which one is going to work best. So then what you do is you're going to do the same thing with the potting soil and the ink blending tool, and you're just going to ink it up all over the page. You're going to cover the entire page. It takes a few minutes, and I've already done this ahead of time, so you don't have to sit and watch how I ink up an entire page. So for time's sake, I will show you the one that I have done. Okay, so here's a section of the one that I have already done, and I've done the entire thing. And then the next step is pick a stamp that you like, and it's any kind of stamp. Today, the stamp that I chose to use on this particular project is from Lavinia Stamps, and it's their gorgeous Star Blossom flower. I just love how this flower comes really nice on the paper. Now, one other thing I forgot to add, if you want your page to be crinkled up, what you would do is you would go ahead and crinkle before you ink your page. So just crinkle up your paper. There's no rhyme or reason, just crinkle it up. Now watch, and you'll see the difference when I create the blending and the ink on here, and you'll see how it really grabs at the wrinkles, and it's pretty cool how that happens. It shows up even more. Now you can crinkle it as much or as little as you want in the edges. And then we're gonna ink it up a little bit and all over. It's almost the end of summer for us. It's been really hot. A couple cool days, and then we're back at our heat wave. I just ink it up the entire page. You can fast forward and skip through it if you don't want to see this part. So you'll be able to see both the wrinkled and the non-wrinkled. It doesn't have to be perfect covered because we are going to put another layer over this. So there you go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the ground espresso from the Distress ink from Tim Holtz with our Star Blossom stamp from Lavinia and make sure that we're going to really ink this up so it's nice and dark. And then let me show you how it's going to look against there. Now isn't that a nice little contrast? It's really pretty. And I stagger them next to each other. Ink it up real good. One's high, one's low, so they're not all the same height. Like that. There. You can go over it again if it didn't stick well. And then high and low. The same thing here. It's all the way through, making it a pattern paper. Like that. I've been turning the air conditioner on to help keep it cool in the rest of the house. Just randomly gets a little sticky. There we go. Looking good. Okay, one more right here, and then we'll do another piece right here. And it's okay if it goes on to the next page. It's not a problem. And we'll wash this off in a little bit. Okay, so that's how it looks all inked up. And then what you're going to do is you're going to individually cut out all of your words. And I like to keep mine in this little plastic container, and I can just go through and get the ones that I want to use. So move this one aside so you can see how it looks. And here's one that's completely crinkled. I did that, completely crinkled it up, and I like how that looks. And then I went ahead and added the stamp. So you can see how pretty that turned out with the lighter potting soil under, and then the ground espresso with a stamped image on top. And then what I did after I cut out all the words is I went ahead and I put them on a sheet that I've already prepared aside and just randomly cut different size shapes out of the words so that I could see. Sometimes I want them bigger, sometimes I want them a little smaller. I want to have a smaller border, a larger border. And there's one of two things that you can do. Now, I really like the roughed edge, the distressed edge, and there is a special tool that you can use to rough it up. Or if you want, you can just tear and make it rough yourself. And then that way it's rough around here. And then once you tear it, you'll see that you have a white border. And then just take your little blending ink tool and go around the border. And just ink up around it. And there you go. So that's what I have today. You can cut them out and blend them, or you can absolutely tear them and give them a rougher look, more distressed vintage look. That was a little sticky. So you can use that. And I use a roller tape adhesive to adhere the words to the paper. And the other thing I wanted to share is I like to experiment and try different techniques while I'm creating different projects. So what I did was I actually took the words and put them on one of the papers, and I put them on just right from the cut, just right, layered them right on top, and then took a picture with my phone, and then I sent it to my printer. And when I printed it out, it looked totally different than this one here, this is the scanned version, and then this is the version where I adhered them with the roller tape adhesive onto the paper and then cut them out here. So that's what those look like. And then once I cut them out from the main sheet, you can see they're a little bit darker. Kind of a more of a, you can use it on anything, but I like printing my stuff out on the 110-pound cardstock, and I like working with it that way. So let me do it this way. That's how they were. So once you have them digitally, you can lighten them, darken them, you can add color filters. So I thought that was really interesting, an interesting way to play with, once they're digital, you can change the look about them and experiment with different fonts, and you can see how fun. You can use them for your planners, for your journals, for your scrapbooks. You can actually, once they're scanned into the computer, you can print them on the sticker sheets, so you can conveniently and quickly add them to any or all of your projects and planners. So let's see, I think that's it. Just real quick, the actual supply list was your list of words, the old pages torn out from the book. I used the Ranger Archival Ink potting style and the Ranger Distress Ink ground espresso, and then the stamp of your choice, and I selected one from Lavinia Stamps in the UK. For the scissors for fussy cutting out the words, I used the Tim Holtz snips, and then for the roller tape I used the Xyron Mega Runner, and I like to use that one. Let's see. So if you were inspired today, or you learned something new, and you liked my video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Like, follow, and share on YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter. And thank you for stopping by today. I truly hope that you learned a new technique, were inspired to create, and enjoyed my video tutorial. And experience the magic for yourself as you step into the creative flow of the universe and get creative.